Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is March 19th, 2026. We are going to read from Exodus chapter 30 and John chapter 9 today. Excuse me. All right, so Exodus 30, we're going to move to the altar of incense and the ransom that the Jews have to pay to God. And it's the temple tax. My Bible says ransom. They're going to take a census. Everyone has to give a half of a shekel to pay for the temple, pay for the tabernacle. Then we're going to get the incense burning and holy anointing oil that we're going to speak about. So let's go ahead and read Exodus 30. You shall make an altar to burn incense on. You shall make it of acacia wood. A cubit shall be its length, and a cubit its width. It shall be square, and 2 cubits shall be its height. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay its top, its sides all around, and its horns with pure gold, and you shall make for it a molding of gold all around. 2 gold rings you shall make for it under the molding on both its sides. You shall place them on its 2 sides, and they shall be holders for the poles with which to bear it. You shall make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. You shall put it before the veil that is before the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with you. So the ark is in the Holy of Holies. There's a curtain, and the incense is right at that curtain. So that's the last place that you can go before you would go into the Holy of Holies. That's where the high priest would burn his incense once a year and be allowed to go in. Verse 7, Aaron shall burn on it sweet incense every morning. When he tends the lamps, he shall burn incense on it. And when Aaron lights the lamps at twilight, he shall burn incense on it. Again, it's as far as Aaron can go except for that one day. A perpetual incense before the Lord throughout your generations. You shall not offer strange incense on it, or a burnt offering, or a grain offering, nor shall you pour a drink offering on it. And Aaron shall make atonement upon its horns once a year with the blood of the sin offering of atonement. Once a year he shall make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy to the Lord. And we want to remember that as we progress along. The only thing that can be done on that is incense burnt once a day, except for the Day of Atonement, when the sacrifice of atonement goes there, and then Aaron can go past there. Anything else, strange fire. We'll remember that. Verse 11, Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, When you take the census of the children of Israel for their number, then every man shall give a ransom for himself to the Lord. When you number them, that there may be no plague among them when you number them. This is what, and we can remember that. The census is part of the temple tax. Otherwise, a plague breaks out. Verse 13, This is what everyone among those who are numbered shall give, half a shekel according to the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs. The half shekel shall be an offering to the Lord. Everyone included among those who are numbered from 20 years old and above shall give an offering to the Lord. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel. When you give an offering to the Lord to make atonement for yourselves, and you shall take the atonement money of the children of Israel, and shall appoint for it for the service of the tabernacle of meeting, that it may be a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord to make atonement for yourselves. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, You shall also make a laver of bronze, with its base also of bronze, for washing. You shall put it between the tabernacle of meeting and the altar, and you shall put water in it, for Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet in water from it. When they go into the tabernacle of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister to burn an offering made by fire to the Lord, they shall wash with water, lest they die. So they shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die, and it shall be a statute forever to them, to him and his descendants throughout their generations. Moreover, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Also take for yourselves quality spices, 500 shekels of liquid myrrh, half as much sweet-smelling cinnamon, 250 shekels, 250 shekels of sweet-smelling cane, 500 shekels of cassia, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, and a hin of olive oil. And you shall make from these a holy anointing oil, an ointment compounded according to the art of the perfumer. It shall be a holy anointing oil. With it you shall anoint the tabernacle of meeting and the ark of the testimony, the table and all its utensils, the lampstand and its utensils, and the altar of incense with altar of burning offering with all its utensils, and the laver and its base. You shall consecrate them that they may be most holy. Whatever touches them must be holy. And you shall anoint Aaron and his sons and consecrate them that they may minister to me as priests. And you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, This shall be a holy anointing oil to me throughout your generations. It shall not be poured on man's flesh, nor shall you make any other like it according to its composition. It is holy, and it shall be holy to you. Whoever compounds any like it, or whoever puts any of it on an outsider shall be cut off from his people. And the Lord said to Moses, take sweet spices, stacte and inica and galbanum and pure frankincense. With these sweet spices there shall be equal amounts of each. You shall make of these an incense, a compound according to the art of the perfumer, salted, pure, and holy. And you shall beat some of it very fine, and put some of it before the testimony in the tabernacle of meeting, where I will meet with you. It shall be most holy to you, but as for the incense which you shall make, you shall not make any for yourselves according to its composition. It shall be to you holy for the Lord. Whoever makes any like it, to smell it, he shall be cut off from his people. It belongs to God and God alone. All right, let's jump over to John chapter 9. Now, as Jesus passed by, he saw a man who was blind from birth, and his disciples asked him, saying, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And that's that belief that any illnesses or suffering must have been caused by sin. And Jesus is going to say, well, no, that's not always the case. He says that in verse 3. Jesus answered, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but that the works of God should be revealed in him. I must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. The night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Sometimes people just get sick. Sometimes, as in this man's case, he was sick just so, he's blind, just so Jesus can come at this moment and cure his blindness. Verse 6, when he had said these things, he spat on the ground and made clay with the saliva, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. And he said to him, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is translated sent. So he went and washed and came back seeing. So that saliva and mud, that's like an eye salve. That's that physical thing you would do to heal somebody. And then he's got that spiritual thing of going to this pool of Shalom and washing, spiritually washing, and come back. So a little bit of physical, a little bit spiritual. Again, and that's describing the illness that he had. It wasn't necessarily a spiritual result of sin. It was a little bit of physical as well. So he washes, he comes back. Verse 8, therefore the neighbors and those who previously had seen that he was blind said, is not this he who sat and begged? So people knew he was blind. Lots of people knew he was blind, and now they all know that, well, he can see. Something happened. Some said, this is he. Others said, well, he is like him. No, it just looks like him. He said, I am he. Therefore they said to him, how were your eyes opened? He answered and said, a man called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, go to the pool of Siloam and wash. So I went and washed, and I received sight. Then they said to him, where is he? He said, I do not know. They brought him who formerly was blind to the Pharisees. Now it was a Sabbath when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. And the Pharisees also asked him again how he had received his sight. And he said to them, he put clay on my eyes, and I washed, and I see. Therefore some of the Pharisees said, this man is not from God, because he does not keep the Sabbath. Others said, how can a man who is a sinner do such things? And there was division among them. They said to the blind man again, what do you say about him, because he opened your eyes? He said, he is a prophet. But the Jews did not believe concerning him that he had been blind and received his sight, until they called the parents of him who had received his sight. And they asked him, saying, is this your son, who you say was born blind? How then does he now see? His parents answered them and said, we know that this is our son, and that he was born blind. By what means he now sees, we do not know, or who opened his eyes, we do not know. He is of age, ask him. He will speak for himself. His parents said these things because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had agreed already that if anyone confessed that he was Christ, he would be put out of the synagogue. Therefore his parents said, he is of age, ask him. So they again called the man who was blind, and they said to him, give God the glory. We know that this man is a sinner. He answered and said, whether he is a sinner or not, I do not know. One thing I know, that though I was blind, now I see. Then they said to him again, what did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? He answered them, I told you already, and you did not listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you also want to become his disciples? Twist that a little harder. Verse 28, then they reviled him and said, you are his disciple, but we are Moses' disciples. We know that God spoke to Moses. As for this fellow, we do not know where he is from. The man answered and said to them, why, this is a marvelous thing that you do not know where he is from, yet he has opened my eyes. I can see, ye are still blind. Now we know that God does not hear sinners, but if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears him. Since the world began, it has been unheard of that anyone opened the eyes of one who was born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing. Blind man just schooled him. But do they want to be schooled? No, they want to stay in their ignorance. They want to stay in their blindness. And we have that proof right here in verse 34. They answered and said to him, "You are completely born in sins, and you're teaching us." And they cast him out. So they punished the blind guy. That's how much they don't want to see. Verse 35, Jesus heard that they had cast him out. And when he had found him, he said to him, "Do you believe in the Son of God?" He answered and said, "Who is he, Lord, that I may believe in him?" Because again, he didn't know what Jesus looks like because he was blind when he left him. And Jesus said to him, "You have both seen him, and it is he who is talking with you." And then he said, "Lord, I believe." And he worshipped him. And Jesus said, "For judgment I have come into this world, that those who do not see may see, and that those who see may be made blind." Those who did not see was the blind man, and those who think they could see was the Pharisees, and he proved that they're the blind ones. This guy that he healed of his blindness, he's the one who sees now, sees Jesus for who he is. And he's doing this in a public place because the Pharisees overhear him. Verse 40, then some of the Pharisees who were with him heard these words and said to him, "Are we blind also?" Duh. Jesus said to them, "If you were blind, you would have no sin, but now you say we see, therefore your sin remains." They think they can see, but they can't. And they're stuck in that, and they're never ever going to see that they're wrong. And that's what Jesus is trying to convince them and tell them. No. It's spiritual. It's all about the Spirit. It's all about doing God's will. You're stuck in the here and now. They're stuck in their traditions. They're stuck with their, well, you can't do anything on the Sabbath. Nothing. And Jesus is saying, I just healed the guy of blindness. Can you not see that? Only God can do that. Hello. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.